inside your bedroom. We stopped counting the days, lost in the rhythm. Physical silence, no need to speak a word. Lay here beside me. Don't wanna move too fast. Your lips on the floors, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. I never dared to ask if we're gonna last. I'm needing all your love, needing all your love. Oh, when you move, oh my God, you know you play your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts. Your blood is pumping, I feel it in your veins, surfing your heat waves. Your taste is different, somehow it makes me brave. Chemical nature. Don't wanna move too fast. Your lips on the floors, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. Oh, when you move, oh my God, you know you play your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. Oh my God, I'm a fool. Thought I'd never fall into you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so cruel how I'm loving the things you do. Ooh, yeah. Oh, when you move, oh my God, you know you play your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. Never move too fast. Your lips on the floors, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. I'm a sucker for hearts.
Hi, hello. It has been a little bit since I say that we went live not last Sunday, but the Sunday before. So it is not like this is a brand new thing, or I don't even know. But welcome. Anyway, if you're new here, my name is Amy Prokopis. I am an indie author. I write fantasy romance, romancy, whatever you want to call it. My book that I am currently writing is the second book in the Curse of Wings series. It is a vampire romance. It is called Curse of Blood and Sight. It is it gets steamier than book one. We are on chapter 10, and already it has been quite a bit steamier. So I'm having a great time writing this book. It is the second book in the series. The first book is Curse of Wings and Darkness, which you can get in Kindle Unlimited, and it is available in paperback wide, which means wherever books are sold. So that is just one of my books. I have written, oh my gosh, how many do I have total? I'd have to think. Oh, I have Um, Trilogy. I don't even know. Let me take these. These are really annoying right now. So I'm gonna take these out. They're bugging me. Hopefully they're not bugging you guys. But yes, that's a little bit about me. We do live streams every Sunday night from used to be 8:20, but I pushed it back 8:30 to usually like 10:30-ish. And we just do writing sprints. So if you've never done that before, another name for them are productivity sprints. So we will do a little bit of chatting here just to like, I don't know, hang out, have a nice time, talk about what we're all working on and our goals for tonight. And then we will do 25 minutes of working. So the sound will go off, everyone will do their own thing, we'll all work together. And then when the timer goes off at 25 minutes, we will all come back together and chat a little bit more. So it's a fun time. We will do 3 of those, 3 sprints for tonight. And if you are not new here, you may notice that as the weeks have gone, some things have changed, hence like this background. So I'm still kind of playing with it. I have put no decor up, but I did get my some of my light set up today or earlier in the week. I got it all in the mail and I just set it up today just for fun and decided to try utilizing it in the live stream tonight. So that is why this wall behind me is green today. Green because green, like this deep green kind of gradient in neon, is sort of the branding behind Amy Prokopis Publishing, which is my publishing house. And so I thought it would make kind of a nice addition back there. So the light is up. Eventually, we will have other things back here like bookshelves, some decor. I'm still looking at some decor that I want to add. The monthly challenge video that is going up in April is the remodeling, redecorating of this writing space. So I am very excited to come back around to this, and it's been kind of fun to like put a little bit up back here for you guys. So I may actually have to change my banner color down here because right now it's blue, all these bubbles, because a long time ago, Amy Prokopis used to like dabble in some other color schemes. There was like a pink at one point, pink and green, kind of all over my old website, my very first website. And then it became sort of a blue because I love blue. It's one of my favorite colors. And then as we've evolved, I tried to pick a color scheme that sort of fit all of my books a little better and drew on a lot of where my inspiration for all of my books comes from, which is more natural settings. So now green's the color. So don't know if that really needed to be said. Don't know if it's interesting at all, but that is why I chose green for tonight for the wall. The light I got actually, it's an LED little lamp and it's designed sort of, it's concave. Um, so it's designed so that depending on how you position it, it sort of changes and almost gives it kind of like a gradient look on your wall even. So I have it pretty flat so that it looks mostly flat on this wall behind me. I've, actually, as I was setting it up today, I started to notice some things about how it was going to function, and I may actually need to order one more to get it to work the way I want it to with the other elements I plan on putting behind me in backdrop. So, but it's really cool light. It's LED, and it actually does multiple colors, which I really enjoyed because when I do other things like some more Read Books Be Kind elements, and I want to talk more about like mental health, maybe some other things, or I want the color in my video to better fit the book I'm writing, then I can change the color, which is really fun. So I did think about changing it to red since I'm writing my vampire book tonight. It makes sense to have more of like a red theme going. But then I thought about the fact that I'm wearing my red sweatshirt and there wasn't really enough time to go and put anything else on real fast. And so Amy Prokopis Publishing theming it is. We're going with green. So that is what we're doing tonight. So welcome everybody. Firstly, what is everybody else working on tonight? I'm also going to put it in the chat. Tonight, I am starting at, what am I starting at? I surpassed 20,000 words a couple days ago. So something fun I do just for myself to celebrate when I hit different milestones in the writing slash publication process is I have a mini bottle of champagne, which is really fun. And I keep myself motivated by keeping them fairly visible in my house. I actually think I may move them here into this room. And they have cute little tags on them that have the milestones. And the very first milestone is writing 20,000 words of a draft. And so I hit that this week for Curse of Blood and Sight, which is the book we're working on tonight. So I popped that bad boy in the fridge, got it all chilled, and opened that up and enjoyed that a couple days ago, which was really nice. It's just a mini bottle, so it's like a single glass of champagne. So it's just a little celebratory thing. And so I'm super excited that I hit that milestone. So that is something that I do. So we are starting the night at 20,647 words of Curse of Blood and Sight. So that is what I will be working on tonight. I'm going to put that in the chat. I would love to hear what everybody else is working on tonight as well. I know that this is really, I think, only the second mostly back to normal writing live stream we've done in a while. And so I know that there are still some people that haven't quite made their way back to my channel to join us for these. So we may be a little light on viewership tonight, but that's okay. We're going to try to keep it light and just get some productivity going, which is the entire purpose behind these. And that honestly is the biggest reason I have missed doing the Write With Me live streams on Sunday nights, because I've missed the dedicated writing time and the like accountability side of it for myself. I've just really missed that. So I'm excited to bring that back around. So if you're not here, that's okay. You can come another time, catch the replay another time, find out all the fun tidbits about where I am in the writing process as we go. Jessica's here. Hi, Jess. Jessica Turner, if you do not know, you guys tuning in, has a book coming out very soon as well. She's just announced the second book in that series also. The first one is up for pre-order. I am so excited about it. Maybe I need to link it somewhere. Maybe I can do that. I do not know, but her author name is Jessica Turner, and it'll be her debut book. So if you have not checked it out, you should. I'm very excited for her. Yeah, it'll be amazing. So I am so glad. Yes, I am so glad to see you here, Jessica. I think maybe missed you last time. I don't know. So I thought I was going to be able to get to a more normal schedule doing these every Sunday. And then last Sunday, I was unable to. So long story short, I actually talked about it in my weekly vlog. So if you don't watch the vlogs, you may have missed it. But until like a couple hours ago, there was a giant mattress leaning against this wall behind me. So midway through the process of redecorating this room, we also ended up getting a new mattress in our bedroom, something we really needed to do it forever and ever. And the old one got like quickly pushed down the hallway into this room, which was just a little frustrating because I was in the middle of redecorating this. And about the same day that we did that and pushed the mattress in here, all of the new decor and some items I had ordered for the remodel came in the mail. And so I had to wait. So I sat on the floor with the mattress pushed up behind me and actually put together a ton of stuff. I have bookshelves and things put together that are kind of like pushed away from me right now. And I was unable to put them up on this wall because this dang mattress was behind me. So I am very happy that I didn't have to miss another week and that we could do this live stream this week. And we just pushed the mattress back down the hallway, which is a little silly. Very like I'm authenticity is important to me, and so it's just a very real life thing. I think everyone can kind of relate to, like when you have relatives come over or people you're trying to impress that come over to your house and you just shove everything real fast into a room and it just looks atrocious, but the rest of the house looks perfectly fine. That's kind of what happened about an hour before this live stream. So that is why the only thing up behind us is this new lighting feature. Yes, I'm so excited that you're here to write with me, Jessica. I've missed you being in these streams. It's always fun to see where we are in the process, especially since I've gotten to know your writing a little bit better. I'm really excited for you, by the way. I finally got a chance to read Guardians of the Sixth Gate today and immediately went and bought book two and three. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, that makes me so happy. Thank you, Jessica. I really love that series. It is much more young adult than some of the stuff I write now, but is the first completed series I've written and published. Not the first completed series I've ever written, but it is the very first one I've published and put out there. And I really like it. Those characters are fun. And it's funny because from that series, that's actually where one of the main characters of Curse of Wings came from. So the book I'm currently writing, the male main character, he originally came from book two in that series, Shade of the Shadowlands, and he was just supposed to be a side character, somebody to interact with, somebody to kind of like not really be a romantic interest at all, but just to sort of shake things up a little bit because the romance is real rocky in that second book. And he was kind of a part of that in some ways, as like a distraction in a way. And I just couldn't help myself. I just loved him so much in that book, and I knew I needed to build on it, but I also knew that he couldn't be a part of the series any longer than book two. And so I immediately thought of how he could have his own book. And so even though he's not the main character of the Curse of Wings series, because the main character is the female protagonist, Lily Thompson. So even though he's not like we're not getting the story from his perspective, he was the very, very first character that I ever developed for that series. And so uh, Guardians of the Sixth Gate has a very special place in my heart. And actually, since I have expanded a little bit with Curse of Wings, and I kind of on a whim made the decision to interconnect them just a little bit, I have big plans now for furthering interconnection with other series. I already am in development for a brand new series. Once I finish with probably with Curse of Wings and Darkness first, once I finish with that series, I plan on moving on to this next one, which is also interconnected in the lore of this world a little bit. So it'll be really fun. I am exciting. Oh, so thank you, Jessica. Seeing oh yeah, isn't it funny? I would imagine it would be funny seeing Angel on like the reverse if you've read Curse of Wings and Darkness first, and then seeing him have this random appearance in Shade of the Shadowlands. I'm sure that would be kind of funny. Uh, yes. So another funny tidbit about that is because I didn't originally plan to break away and use him in a different series. In the Guardians of the Sixth Gate series, he goes by a different name. He's still Angel, but I believe his last name in that book is Angel Martinez. And so when I wrote Curse of Wings and Darkness, I got through the entire series or the entire book, wrote the whole thing, sent it to my editor, didn't really think much about it, and she pointed out that his last name was different. And I did not want to change it. I wanted him to be Angel Ramirez. That's how I wrote him in Curse of Wings and Darkness. And it was actually really easy to leave it that way because I thought it makes a lot of sense. This is he's a vampire, he's immortal, he's lived forever and ever and ever, and he's lived forever and ever among other people in the real world. And so it would make sense that he would have different aliases. And that's when some really fun tidbits came out that are now like actually pretty important to the Curse of Wings series. I don't want to give too much away, but I can say that the reason he goes by his actual name, his real name, in Curse of Wings has to do with Lily and some of her abilities, kind of forcing him in some ways to go by his real name. And so it becomes this whole like thing about like accepting himself for who he actually is and who he is inside and not this he thinks he's like this monster being a vampire. So not this beast of a person he thinks he's cursed to be. And so it sort of develops into this really beautiful story about like, yeah, finding your true self and accepting that you're not really like not we just we can't be shoved into boxes and told who we are based on the way we look on the outside. So it's kind of fun. I hadn't caught that, but that's such a fun. Yes, it is kind of a funny tidbit, and so it worked out in the long run. It made a lot of sense for me to do it that way too. So, yeah, it's been fun. All right. So, how long have we been chatting? Oh my goodness, it's been 20 minutes already. We probably should go ahead and jump into our very first sprint of the night. So, sprint one, don't forget to hit subscribe below here on YouTube if you are not already. I do vlogs every single week where I post about like the interworkings of my like day-to-day writing life, what I'm working on, all of that kind of stuff, and I show the process. Occasionally, I've not done that in a little bit. It's been a good month since I posted a Wednesday video, but I used to, and I would like to get back to posting on Wednesdays. I do a specialty video, usually publishing related, with some information about like what I've learned, helpful tidbits that may or may not be helpful because the writing process is different for everybody. So that's fun. And then of course now we're back to live streaming on Sunday nights. So lots of fun stuff. So make sure to subscribe here on this YouTube channel if that sounds appealing and super fun to you, because you could come and join us every single week. So yes, I am excited. Jessica's ready for the first sprint of the night. I'm working on book one of a new 5-book series. Oh my goodness. 5 books. I haven't written a series that long in a long time. I think Curse of Wings and Darkness will be longer than a trilogy, and I am very certain that Trial of Flame and Wings will as well. Trial of Flame and Wings is my dragon-esque book. I've been telling people, like, if you liked Fourth Wing, if you like Serpent and the Wings of Night, you'd probably like this book. It has kind of an arranged marriage plot, sort of like a Merida character as the lead. Very much does not want to have anybody choose who she marries and kind of doesn't really want to be married to begin with, wants to be her own person and be in charge of herself and her endeavors and her future and rule all on her own. She's great. Um, and I'm actually taking ARC readers. I've opened my ARC team up again. So if that is interesting to you, the description box has a link where you can find the application. I think that book series is going to be maybe a 5-book series. So, but there is it's kind of daunting writing something that long, but also really fun because you get to know characters in a completely different way. So I am excited to see what that project looks like for you, Jessica. Oh, right. So first sprint of the night, if you are brand, oops, if you are brand new here on Amy Prokopis publishing on our YouTube channel here, we do 3 sprints. We will do 25 minutes each. So I am going to go ahead and pull up that's timer over here, 25 minutes. So we will work for 25 minutes and then we will all come back and see how everybody has done. I already put in the chat, I'm starting at 20,647 words of cursive blood and bite. So I do like to keep track of how many words per sprint I get. So hopefully we will do well tonight. The first sprint is usually a little bit of a slow one for me, a little bit of a warm up, but I'm hoping to drop in all kinds of things, hoping to get a lot done tonight. So we will go ahead and start that. So 25 minutes up on the clock. See you guys in a little bit. 3, 2, 1, sprint. Okay. First sprint down, I really, really settled into that actually. Time got away from me. I did not. Usually I try to look at the time a little bit and wrap up and get kind of a word count before we reconvene, and I didn't quite do that because I was in the middle of the scene. Oh, I'm having a really good time. I should be able to finish chapter 10 tonight. I think I'm actually going to finish it in this next sprint and start on chapter 11, which is where things get a lot more exciting. There's a steamy scene I wrote a while back for this book. It was like immediately after I wrote Curse of Wings and Darkness. I just knew it was something that needed to be included at some point. And so I wrote the scene, and chapter 11 or 12 is where that scene unfolds. And so it'll be really fun. Um, so actually, I should have a high word count tonight because I've already wrapped up that scene in like earlier. I've already written it the way I like it, and it'll fit really well where I plan to put it. And so I'm gonna copy and paste it tonight, I think. And so that is really exciting. I'm gonna I'll have the whole scene already finished and ready to just drop in the book, which is nice. So um yeah, did not get fully wrapped up. Jessica's at 185 words for her. That is great. I am kind of like mid sentence here a little bit. Let me tally mine up real fast. I am not great with math, so I'm gonna come over here to the calculator. Um, I did have a really nice first sprint though, I think. Yeah. Okay, I did have a really nice first sprint. I got 807 words, which is crazy. That is a lot to add to your word count just for like a very first sprint. So I wrote 807 words in sprint number one. I'm gonna add that to the chat just for fun. Yeah, yeah, that blew me away. Normally, a good average for me, like a pretty good pace for these sprints has been like maybe 600 words per sprint. And I know that's good. That's not at all what I usually do for the very first sprint. I'm good, like I'm lucky to get 300 in the very first sprint. So I am amazed that I got 800. Holy. If I can get 1,000 words a day, that is really nice, like a really light load. So I am pleased that I'm already almost there. So thank you guys. You guys are fantastic. We had somebody join us earlier, Miss Blogger. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. Happy to have you here. We are on almost on sprint number two. We just wrapped up our first sprint of the night. It's going really, really well. Holy moly. But yeah, that's where I left off. So I'm super excited about tonight now that I've realized just how close I am to writing this really fun scene. It's also kind of the turning point of this book a little bit. It's where a lot of the like bigger issue, the bigger plot starts to kick off. Um, so Curse of Blood and Sight takes place mostly in New Orleans. Um, Book one, Curse of Wings and Darkness, is all set in New York City, which is where Lily goes to school. That is where she meets Angel, who is passing through, kind of stops for the time being, as he's moving on to other things, trying to find the cure for vampirism, and runs into Lily instead. And so book two continues their romance and everything, but they end up in New Orleans to continue the journey of Angel finding the cure for vampirism. So very fun. Aw, holy moly. Sheesh. My, let's just do this. My headphones are not wanting to like fully connect and sync right. So I may end up actually switching to some different headphones or earbuds. They're just not, I don't know, they're not working quite well. So I may have to switch them out. But um, yeah, I'm excited to get to that really pivotal moment in this book. I know that this event in the book, because it'll be, I think, a couple scenes, but this event for sure is going to be like one of the more quoted and talked about parts of this book. So I'm really excited to write it. Hitting the point in my book where the plot is starting to pick up too. It's so much fun. It gets so exciting, not just like from a reader's perspective, like when you can feel that, like, okay, now we're really getting somewhere, but to write that, it feels like everything just starts to flow and click immediately better. Oh, I like more of the backstory. I also really enjoy writing backstory, although I do a lot of it anymore for myself. Um, I used to put a little bit more backstory into starting all of my books, and then when I started publishing and then kind of got more of a style, I've actually changed that, and I do a lot of backstory writing for myself, and then I'll start where the action picks up. I almost always try to start chapter one with some sort of hook or really interesting piece of drama, whether that's like a fight scene or the initial conflict happens in chapter one, or you meet these characters that immediately don't like each other. There's just something that is going to catch your attention, that is going to immediately have some sort of a adverse reaction just to keep it going. So I do a lot of backstory writing still, but anymore I write it and then I will get to the point and actually start the book. So a lot of it doesn't actually make it into the book for me anymore. Okay, I think it's time for the second sprint of the night. So let me note my word count here before it gets away from me. I'm at 21,454 words. Exciting. I should be able to finish chapter 10 here in this sprint and start into chapter 11, which is where that scene starts to come in. I don't know if we'll get fully into that scene or not. I do think I may push it along rather than adding a lot of in between and go straight into that. So I do think I'm going to be able to start that here in a second, which is fun. So, second sprint of the night. I think just so I don't have to switch things out, I will go ahead and put these earbuds back in and just hope that they don't do the weird whatever they're doing. They're kind of like crackling in and out too. So if the sound gets too bad, that is distracting and like changing the mood for me, then I will change them. But for now, I'm just gonna keep going with the flow. So second sprint of the night. Don't forget to hit like below. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. Would love to have you guys along more for all of my writing adventures. Maybe leave a comment also what you're working on for the night. That might be an easy one to comment. What is something that you are hoping to get accomplished? Hoping to get accomplished tonight in the live stream, and I don't know, maybe what are you wanting to accomplish for this week? That used to be something we talked about in these live streams every week was here's sort of my goal, my plan for the week. And we haven't done that yet. So maybe we need to. So think on that one. Maybe leave a comment below, something you're hoping to accomplish this week. I might need to think on that a little bit. I have a few things. Well, I have a few things actually. I'm taking one of my licensing tests this week for my LPC, licensed professional counselor credentials. It's the state test, not the national one. So I have to take two. I have to take the state ethics test and I have to take the national counseling exam. So I'm going to take those. So the first one and the one I have this week is the state ethics test. So I take that Thursday. So I guess for me, one thing I'm hoping to accomplish this week is passing that. And also getting a lot of writing done because I still am a little bit out from getting uh, Trial of Flame and Wings back from my editor. So we're still fully in the trenches writing Curse of Blood and Sight. I would love, love, love if I could finish writing this book in April, earlier the better, because it would mean I could return to Trial of Flame and Wings and give the final publication process all of the work and attention I think it really deserves. Um, it also means that it would lighten my load going into counseling as I start that realm of things. It would give me a little bit more time to devote to that and not have to worry about publication deadlines quite as much. So I guess that would be my goal for this week. Publication, not publication, LPC tests and continuing to write on Crystal Blood and Sight. So Yeah. Jessica is hoping to finish chapter 9 tonight, and we'll be doing all things marketing for my first book throughout the week. Yes, that is coming up super, super soon. So I am so excited about it. Already pre-ordered it. If you guys haven't pre-ordered, you should definitely go check it out because it's going to be really good. I'm excited to have like the final product in my hands. It'll be great. So, but yeah, there's a lot that goes into launching a book, especially a debut. So, second sprint. Uh, there we go. Timer up on the screen. We're going to do another 25-minute sprint, and then we will come back around and chat. Maybe we can chat a little bit about our goals for the week, things we're working on, other stuff. But we are going to move to the second sprint of the night. So here we go. Sprint number 2. I've written my word count, just double checking. I will see you guys in a little bit. 3, 2, 1, sprint.
All right. So hopefully everybody can hear me because it said my mic unplugged. So let me know if you can't. But holy moly, I just got a lot of writing done. I'm actually double checking the word count because I did get into chapter 11 and I did get my scene added. Um, and I think it put me over 1,000 words for the sprint, which sounds wild. So I'm just double checking that that is the case. So, how did everyone else do for the second sprint of the night? Exciting. Ooh, Jessica had 367. That's really good for a sprint. All right. I did confirm. So I wrote 1,453 words in that sprint, only because I had the one sprint that I could copy and paste. So, holy moly. So I wrote 1,453 words for sprint number 2. That's crazy. Jessica said, hitting a tension point between the main character and a past lover. Ooh, that does sound like a lot of tension. That's really fun. Ooh. Wow. Yes, I cannot believe it. I have never written that much in at least not one of these kinds of like live stream writing sprint events. I've never written that much before. Holy moly. That means that I have 2,260 words so far tonight just for this live stream. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. My headphones also died finally during the very end of that sprint. So it worked out because I just stopped sprinting and because I was only a minute left anyway. So I just gave it a pause after I had inserted that scene. It was a good point to kind of pause for a minute anyway. And then I dealt with getting that on the charger and stuff. But I am going to have to find a different set of headphones. I have a couple options in here I could pick from. So have to find something else to get my mood music going. I don't really like to play it out loud, even though I don't know, I'm weird about it. So even though I'm definitely talking to you guys in this room, and I'm probably louder than any music I would play in here. It's just weird to me to play music out loud in this space. I don't know. There's something about having it in my ears that just sets the mood a little bit better. Even when I'm all by myself here writing at home, I will be wearing headphones. Um, I don't know. It's a vibe. It just sets the tone better for me. You are on a roll. I am on a roll. I am impressed with myself. And tomorrow is another mostly writing day. I have a run planned. I am back on my running schedule for the most part. I am very excited about it. If you don't know, if you stuck around for a while, you may have heard me talk about it, but I used to be a distance runner for fun, not like any sports teams kind of thing, just for fun. I would compete in half marathons mostly, and I really miss it. It was the best way to clear my head, kept me in shape. It was just really fun. And I've missed it. And so, well, life gets away from you. I had job changes. I had a baby a while back, and I've been running inconsistently since. And so I am so excited that it's back into my normal schedule. So tomorrow morning, I'm planning to run probably at the gym tomorrow. And I need to study a bit for my test this week. And then it's just writing all day. So I am excited. I got so much writing done tonight, and I should get a lot done again tomorrow. So it should be a really good day. Yes. Jessica said, I think that makes sense. I feel like I internalize the music more when it's directly in my ears. I think that's part of it too. I love that you're running again. Yes, I've missed it. I do have a couple races in mind that I would love to run. One of them benefits all of the local public schools in my area. So I definitely have my eyes set on that one because it's local anyway. So I wouldn't have to travel to really do that one. I would just have to prepare. And it benefits public schools, which is one of my other favorite things to, I don't know, just to do things for. And so I have my eyes set on that one in September, but I would love to do another big one in my state. Maybe one I've done before, but I would love to do a full marathon, maybe in 2026, maybe next year in like the springtime. Funnily enough, I was actually in the middle of marathon training when I found out I was pregnant. That's why I stopped running initially, at least competitively. I was still running. I still ran throughout my entire pregnancy, like distance. I was doing 5Ks. But that is why I have not run the full marathon yet, because I found out I was pregnant in the middle of training for it. So I would love if I could come back around to that. And so I don't know, maybe this is the year to do that. There's a lot of change in my life though. So I don't want to take on too much and then feel like I'm overloaded or like I can't properly dedicate time to stuff. So plus right now I'm just having fun getting back into it. I am kind of on a little bit of a training plan with that September date in mind, but right now I'm just having a good time getting back to it. Jessica is doing a 5K in April, walking though, not running. You can definitely walk a 5K and still do it in really good time. Yeah, 5Ks are great. I love a good 5K. And they're just a fun community thing too, because a lot of people will come out for a 5K. So it's a big event. I haven't done like actually raced a 5K in a long time, but yeah, they're really fun. I do enjoy them. I think that's a worthy goal, even if it's just a hope. Exactly. So it's kind of on my calendar. I'm sort of taking it in stride. And if I don't do it, I don't do it. And that's also perfectly fine. It would be like a late fall half marathon. The big one would be. And it would be like right after publishing Curse of Blood and Sight, because that comes out in October. And so it would be between that publication and then Snow at Sunset, which is the final book in the winter arc of the Season of Witches series. That book is going to be really fun to write because that series, there are 3 books in the winter series, and each one follows a different sister. And the youngest sister, which is what that book is on, is maybe my favorite one. She's a little sassy, very like introverted, keeps to herself, and has kept a lot of like her passions and stuff to herself because she tends to be very like practical in nature and a little bit like very much like a skeptic, very much a critic of things. And I'm super excited to write it. I've already announced a lot of the tropes. That book is going to be an enemies with benefits trope, which is something that I had never even considered ever writing. And it wasn't what I originally planned for this book until I read, I think it was Twisted Hate by Anna Huang. And just, I loved the dynamic of that. There's just something so kinetic that I just adore about like romantic comedies and just romance books and like movies and stuff in general. When you get that scene where the characters are just full on out, like going at it, they're at each other's throat and then suddenly they're kissing. And there's just something that's a little like blush worthy about it that I love. It's just high energy and I love writing that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to write this book because there is like that element to it, but we also get this like cynical sister that doesn't want to be anything like her other sisters, wants to be her own person, but also doesn't want anyone to notice her being her own person. So I am excited to write it. I am in the brainstorming phase right now for plotting and stuff. After I finish writing Curse of Blood and Sight, the book I'm working on right now, my plan is to move on to writing that book once publication stuff is sort of wrapped up for Trial of Flame and Wings. So I plan to write that book kind of in the summertime. So I'll be writing this wintry book in the middle of summer probably, but Oh my goodness, I'm really excited. And then that will be the end of the winter series or the winter arc for that series. I do have more books planned of my witches, my light, fluffy romances. I haven't decided which season I'm going to for sure. I think I've decided, but I haven't announced anything or really done heavy planning just in case a different idea occurs to me. I've got a few brewing, and if one strikes stronger than the other, I may pursue that. So I'm not for sure what season we'll be in yet. I'm so excited for the final winter book. They're just so cute. I wrote that first one mostly for myself. I was in kind of a blue mood. I was between projects. I was giving myself a little bit of grief about not like publishing quickly enough at that time. And I was in a low enough mood that I really needed it, like to do something completely different. And I needed to do something for fun. And I'd never written a book that at least I originally kind of went in thinking like this is the stupidest book ever. It's so light. There's not a lot of substance here. It's just like this romance. It's like a little romantic comedy, like the way a lot of people, some of those like opinions people have about romance being like not deep at all and really shallow. That's what I thought about Winter Witches when I started writing it. But as I wrote it, oh my gosh, I've just fallen in love with that kind of a writing style. And so now it's really fun to go back and forth between my more serious, like deeper fantasy books and these really light-hearted fantasy books that are a little like, I don't know, just different. I just think they're adorable and they're perfect for they're perfect for the winter season. So they're so fun. Yes, we need light and fluffy romances. We do. I definitely go between reading. That's how I read too. I definitely read deeper fantasy books like that that are very serious, and then I'll switch to something lighter that's really fun. And that's not to say that there's not really deep meaning in those books too, because there definitely is. It's just conveyed in a much different way. And it's refreshing. So it's a really nice difference in pace. So I tend to read the same books and in sort of the same manner as I write. Although I don't always read the same kinds of books as what I'm writing at that time. If I'm writing a really deep, heavy book, that's a lot of times when I'm reading the fluffier romances because I need to, one, not conflate the two in my brain. And also it really helps me keep creatively fresh, not to be completely in this dark headspace all the time. So I definitely read back and forth between all of those, just not all at the same time. Okay, third sprint of the night. Make sure that you are subscribed to my newsletter. I send out a newsletter with all of the here's what's coming this month. It's the only place I publish that stuff is in the newsletter. And it goes out the first of every month. So that is coming super soon. So if you are not a newsletter subscriber, you can get the next newsletter if you subscribe right now at amyprokopis.com. It is at the very top of the webpage. I also, quite honestly, need to do a little better of a job pushing out updates. And I do have a lot more updates coming in April. I have 2 books that will be on a free book deal in the month of April, which is exciting. I'm very excited to do that again. It'll be available for the Stuff Your Kindle event in April, both of them. So I will push the names of those out in my newsletter very soon. I am also going to be pushing out information for ARC team stuff. So if you're on the ARC team, you should already have gotten an email that said that you don't have to reapply. So if you've been my ARC reader before, you should still be good to go. But I will be pushing out more information on that soon because I will get my book back from my editor in April and start working on that. And Patreon, speaking of my other social media and stuff, you can be a Patreon member for just $5. And I already have started on scheduling out day by day the early, mostly edited chapters of Trial of Flame and Wings. I do plan on sharing the early draft of that with my Patreon members again, just because I thought it was so fun to do it with the winter books. And so I will publish one a day to Patreon. There is a lot of chapters in Trial of Flame and Wings, so it will be a much longer one. But yeah, a lot of stuff is coming in April. And I've also introduced semi-weekly video content there as well, where I talk deeper about like the numbers in publishing and stuff. So if that stuff kind of interests you, go check out Patreon. Starting April 1st, I believe, I'm also having my Patreon membership at a discount for new members. So I believe it's 50% off on your first month when you join in the month of April for new members only. So that's also fun. Lots of cool stuff coming in April. So definitely be subscribed to the newsletter, because I know I just told you guys a ton of information, but I'll push it all out in the newsletter. So you'll have like a running list. I'm excited to see what you bring to your Patreon. Thank you. I am too. I want to add a lot of value there. And so I'm trying to do more and more with Patreon. There's so much stuff I could put out there, and forever and ever, I just didn't think that it would be interesting. But as I've like interacted with other authors' content that's like the numbers and similar things, I realized like maybe this actually is more interesting than I thought, because I like it when other authors talk about these things. And so, and transparency is important to me. So it makes sense for me to also do the same thing, especially because I'm comfortable doing that. I don't have a problem talking about a lot of these things. So why not? So it's all coming to Patreon. So thank you for that. All right. It is 10 o'clock where I am. I'm in the Midwest. So it's 10 o'clock, 10:10 to be precise. So we should probably move on to our final sprint. We will do another 25 minutes. We will see how far I get. I think I'm going to slow up quite a bit on this sprint, not just because I need to figure out the headphone situation, but also because I actually need to think a little bit more on the direction of this scene. And there's a lot of moving parts. And so I may need to slow down to think about exactly when to basically piece it all together. So probably won't get nearly as much words in on this sprint. Definitely won't from sprint number 2. That was crazy. But I'm excited. Surely we'll do well. So good luck to everybody. I will see you guys in a little bit. So 25 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. So definitely slowed down a little, but I am finishing the sprint at 23,391 words, which is good. I am happy for that. I am kind of curious how much slower I was this last sprint. I did a good amount. So I still wrote 484 words in the third sprint. Oh my goodness. I wrote 484 words in sprint number 3. So I'm happy with that. Oh my goodness. What does that put me at for the whole night? 20. I wrote 2,744 words. Oh my goodness. That is a lot for just a couple hours. Jessica said she got 260. That is great. Man, this was a really good writing night. Like I had said earlier, 300 words a sprint is like really good, is nice for me. If I can get 600, that is me like at the high end normally per sprint per 25 minutes. So this blew me away. I cannot believe it. 812 for the night for me. That is a really good count for a writing session. Oh, I'm so proud of all of us. Oh my goodness. This has been so much fun. I do think I got to a good point, actually. Like the timer went off at a really good place. And so I think I actually may be done as well for the night. Sometimes I stay up after these live streams and continue writing a little bit. I at least get to a part where I feel good about leaving it for the night, so I don't have to like come back and remember where I was. But I feel like I've already sort of gotten to that point. And so I think because it is a little late, it is a work day tomorrow. I have to take Finn into school tomorrow. I think I am going to leave it here for the night. I don't think I'm going to come back to that. So it was fun. Jessica said almost finished chapter 9. I got pretty far actually into chapter 11. So I should be able to finish chapter 11 off pretty quickly tomorrow morning and move on to chapter 12. So super fun. I am pleased, so pleased with the amount of work I have done tonight. Oh my gosh, I need to tally up how much I wrote for the entire week. I love to do that too. Keep track of how much I'm writing every week. It's just really motivating. I know for some people, it can be, I don't know, like too much because it can make you feel like maybe you haven't written enough. So there's the flip side there. But for me, I find it really motivating and encouraging just to know that I'm moving forward, even if it's incrementally. So for this last week, I wrote 8,386 words for the whole week. So that is really good. The week before, I wrote 3,476. So not nearly as much. So it was a good writing week. And I will be honest, I didn't write very many days. I wrote about 2-3 days this entire week. I'm remembering how it was that I was so productive when I was so busy, because that was something that came up recently, was why in the world am I not writing more when I have a little bit more time on my hands since I'm not at my old job anymore? And I think the answer is that I tend to work better in these big bursts like this, like these Sunday night live streams. And so bringing them back is going to be hugely beneficial for a lot of reasons. I think I'll be more productive. It's super nice to co-work alongside you guys and to check in. And the accountability is really nice too, doing sprints like this. So I've kind of rediscovered something about myself that I forgot along the way. So I am happy. So that is it for me. I'm turning the page on the week onto the next. So hopefully you guys will have a really great week. I hope you all enjoy it, get a lot done, maybe do some fun things while you're at it and accomplish everything that you hope to accomplish. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I do plan to host a live stream next week again. I will try to get that up and scheduled soon so that you guys can turn on the notification bell on YouTube if you would like to get notified. And I will also create a countdown on Instagram like I have so you can get notifications from there as well. So hopefully that helps out. I am excited to see you guys all again next week and hear about everything you have accomplished throughout the week. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Read books, be kind. I will see you in the next one. Bye.